What separates you from other people creating content online is most likely your ability to tell stories through your content. You can have iPhone content, you can have the most expensive Alexa RE type equipment, but at the end of the day, if your storytelling sucks, just like modern day movies, if you're a movie fanatic at all, you can recognize that movies just suck nowadays, especially compared to movies in the past, right? Pop culture's kind of dying. And a big reason for that is people and corporations, movie studios, they're all getting away from actually good storytelling, and they're moving towards basically dopamine hits because it makes them more money. But that's not my style, and that's not the style that I take with most of my clients. So in this video, I'm going to show you what makes a good story, and even what makes a great story. And it's actually super simple. First thing you got to do is you got to figure out the who, the character, okay? So a great story needs a hook in the form of a person, group, or even an object that the audience really cares about. They need to be relatable. They need to be able to, your audience needs to be able to see a bit of themselves in this character or in this group or in this person. This character needs to have desire, right? So every character must want something. It must have a goal, some kind of thing that it's working towards, a mission, whatever. It's got to have some kind of desire and some kind of emotion attached to it. The second thing is the what, or the conflict. So conflict is the engine of storytelling, if you will. Without conflict, you just have a series of events. It's a series of shots that don't really go together, and it's just like, okay, what the hell are we talking about here? So conflict is the gap between what a character has and what they want. So this can be internal conflict, like doubts, fears, more dilemmas. It can be external conflict, which would be villains, nature, life, societal pressure, ticking clock, anything like that. The third thing that you need for storytelling is the where/when. So this is called the setting. And the setting provides the rules of this world for this character and this problem. It's more than just a backdrop. It really influences how characters behave, and what's possible. And then the atmosphere, right? So the mood, it should be showing with your setting. You should be showing with your camera work what it looks like to be in this world. So creating opportunities to show the mood, right, or the vibe. Is it grim? Is it hopeful? Is it chaotic? What's going on here? And then the context, so the cultural or historical stakes of the moment. So, for example, I'm watching 300, right? So 300, the setting is they're being called into war because they're going to try and get enslaved by the Persians and by the Persian Empire. And so those are the stakes of that setting, for an example. The fourth thing that you need for your storytelling is the plot and structure, or the how. So this is the sequence of events. Most great stories follow like a recognizable rhythm. It's pretty easy to spot once you get it down. And it's often referred to as the narrative arc, is what a lot of people call it in the biz. So first, you got to have the exposition, which is the normal world that this character is growing up in, and you're setting the scene for this normal world, right? And then you're going to have an inciting incident. So it's an event that kind of changes the whole plot, right? So these are like the twists and turns of good movies and of good content. So the inciting incident is actually huge when it comes to your plot. Then you're going to have your rising action. So this is where the stakes get higher and the tension starts to build. And then you eventually hit your climax, which is the turning point or the big showdown. Like in 300, the big showdown is they're fighting the Persian army, right? It's like all moments at the beginning of the movie have built this tension that they're gonna go to war and they're gonna have to leave their families and yada yada yada, and then finally they start fighting, and that's like the climax. And then after, you have the resolution. So the new normal is established, right? So again, using 300 as an example, the resolution is they actually die, right? 300 Spartans die. However, the resolution is that it incites this, rebellion from the Persian Empire, and, the Spartans come back even stronger. And then lastly, the theme, right? The fifth part of storytelling is the theme, or the why. And theme is like the moral of the story. It's like the message. It's like the underlying message of your content. It's what the story is actually about beneath the surface. So, an example, again, like a story about a space war, for example, like Star Wars kind of thing, might actually be a theme about the importance of family, right? For Star Wars, it's like, hey, Anakin, right, the main character of all the Star Wars films, Anakin did not heal a wound that he had with his mother, and that obviously that fear that he had bled into his relationship with Padme, with his wife, and, that fear, like Yoda talks about, like, fear leads to the dark side, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. So that would be, the theme of Star Wars. I hope this helps. I can go into a lot more detail on this, but at the end of the day, the five things that you need to have in your storytelling, just to go through them one more time. Number 1, character, or the who. Number 2, conflict, or the what. 3, setting, or the where and the when. 4, the plot and structure, or the how. And then 5, the theme, which is the why. And I promise, if you include all these 5 elements, you can do this in short form content, you can do it in long form content, but the more you apply this into your content, your storytelling skills will go through the fucking roof. I guarantee you. And you will start to see more engagement. You'll see more people actually giving you the results that you want from your content. Become a better storyteller, make better content. Peace.